go, Diana.
Yes, can you hear us?
Now I can hear.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Who is Karen?
Karen?
Yeah, who is she? What?
Karen, can you say
Yes, I'm muted again.
I don't know her. I don't know Karen. That's why I was wondering who is she.
She is a family member or family friend of a student that I have in class this year.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking you're part of the. Sorry, I was thinking you're part of the teachers. I was like, I don't know this. Okay.
Well, Karen does volunteer in our library normally. Right now with COVID restrictions, not so much, but she's one of our valued volunteers.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to scoot out because I have to start another meeting with another teacher. But welcome. And Diana, I'm so happy to see you. I've missed you.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Well?
Yes. Yes, nope. I can hear you well.
I don't think. How about now?
I can hear you well right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying.
Okay, this wasn't working. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Okay.
Well, hello. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Miss Kai. I teach 5th and 6th grade here, and Lily Beth is in my class, and that's who a family friend is. Yeah. So, Joshua, are you the parent of Joshua who went here last year?
Yeah, he was not here last year, but
he wasn't?
No, yeah, last year we went to Bethlehem Lutheran. I decided to try something different. It's a really good school. They have really, their heart is right and they're amazing. Just I'm just thinking that I don't know, I like more the Latin especially, and there is like a normal Christian school. I didn't realize that, but they use like the normal, like the public school curriculum format. They use their books. For example, I really like Saxon. I'm like, they use that. And then also, all the other books, they teach from Christian perspective, but they're also using the Common Core. They're kind of aligned with the Common Core standards.
Okay, so it aligns to the Common Core, but it's Christian curriculum. Okay.
It's Christian. And this is the thing that it makes the school transferable, which is, every school wants to be transferable.
Yeah.
You can, like Coram Deo is not transferable. This was a hard thing, but there are other factors which I really like. So I'm thinking we might come back.
Okay. And so what grade will he be in?
He'll be in 5th.
5th grade. Okay. So he'll be in my class. Okay. Well, is there any questions that I can answer right off the top before I start introducing and what I do in class and how I teach and curriculum that I use and stuff? Is there any questions right off the bat?
I have questions. I don't know if Karen has questions. I don't want to take up I like to talk a lot, so I don't want to.
I will give each of you a time to ask any questions. It's all about you guys. So do you have any questions that you would like that you have in your head, Karen, to ask me about specifically?
No, not necessarily.
You're just going to listen to me talk, yes?
Yeah, I have questions though.
Okay.
I appreciate already the way you keep in touch with your students and their families. It makes a giant difference in how the kids can respond to.
Yes, I am a firm believer in communication. Yes, this is very true. Maybe too much. Yes. Okay. So Diana, do you want me to start to explain to you what I do in class, or do you want to ask questions first? If I went through what I did and what I teach and how I teach, that might answer some of the questions you have.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So my classroom is focused, the first few months were focused on seeing where they are academically and building a classroom culture, a classroom that we can be safe to learn in, a classroom that we don't feel judged if we do something wrong. That's a really big, important thing to me. So we spend a lot of time learning what friendships are versus learning what just acquaintances are. We spend a lot of time getting to know each other. So right when they come, we have this sheet. It is called All About Me. Looks like this. You see, Dinah?
Yeah. Okay.
So it looks
Yeah, I
like
know
this.
those. We've done them before at Coram
Okay,
Deo.
so
Okay.
I pick a student of the week every week to focus on, to get to know, to share their likes and dislikes and stuff like that. So it's really important for me to build a classroom culture that is open to mistakes, because I think mistakes are, proof that you're learning. So that's really big off the bat. I send home a parent newsletter every week to tell you what we're doing in class, what we're doing in our subjects, what events, what things we're celebrating. That keeps the parents in the loop so that they know exactly what we're doing in class. Whenever we're having events, I tell you weeks, months in advance so that you know. We have a has sheet. Do you remember what the has sheets were? Has sheets they look like this, and they're homework.
Oh, yeah. I know those. Okay, I know those.
So every week I hand out a new one. It tells you exactly what we're doing for homework that week. There's no guessing. There's no, what are we doing for homework? What did she say? So that it's exactly put down, so you exactly know what's expected of you. And there's a spot for the parent to sign, so that I know that the parent actually saw this, in case they don't turn in an assignment. I'm like, well, your parent said that you saw this and you did it. So that's a big thing about homework. And homework, speaking of homework, I give probably 45 minutes of homework a day. And that is not just to give homework. I don't give homework just to say, oh, I gave you homework. I give homework to have you practice at home the skills that we have already learned in school. I don't expect you to do homework, new content at home. I'm not going to say, okay, go learn that lesson at home and then bring it back. So for me, homework is a way for you to practice what we've already learned in class, Bible verses, spelling words, math practice, but content that we've already learned. And I don't expect it to go beyond 45 to an hour, because that's just, I don't ask that. So I just want you to practice what we do in class. That's what homework is. Late work, I don't like late work. When I assign an assignment and the due date is the due date, I expect the work to be turned in on time. It does get 10% deduction every day you turn it in late, but usually I don't like late work, so people know that, so they turn it in on time.
Yeah.
For your missed days, if you're ever sick, if you're sick 2 days, you have 2 school days to turn in your work.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to have it right the next day. You're sick and then you don't have to turn something in the next day. Grading, I usually grade 25% participation, 25% homework or worksheets, 25% tests and quizzes, and then 25% of our projects that we do. Because I'm very hands-on, and I like creative, and I like art, and I like to bring different subjects into whatever subject that we're learning. I like to bring art into history. I like to bring history into science. So we do a lot of projects. So that's part of my 25%, how I break up my grading scale. Curriculum. Do you know anything about the curriculum? We do use Saxon. I heard you like Saxon. So we do. Yeah. We are doing Saxon for math. So
which? So can you tell me which Saxon are going to do?
Okay, so for 5th grade, it is Saxon 7-6, and for 6th grade. Yes, and for 6th grade, it's Saxon 8-7.
Okay, let me write down. Okay, so for 5th grade is 7-6.
Yes.
So this is a little bit. This is 1 year ahead of the 4th grade.
Yes, it's one ahead. And there's always room. There's always room if you come in and you test in at a certain level. There's always room, because I teach my math class in math groups. So I have some people helping me and coming in and teaching a side group. If you need more one-on-one work, I have somebody that can come and teach, or somebody can take the class that I have now that's average, and they can teach that. Or I teach the curriculum, and then I have someone come help them with the work. And then I can work one-on-one with different students that need more one-on-one time. So when you come in and test in, if you test in lower, then there's always the ability to have, there's usually 2 or 3 that are lower, because it's such a step up. It's such a grade up. Then I usually have them in a group, and it works out fine. So
but how does, because this is one of my questions. So for example, so do they all equal at the end? Like at the end of the school year, are they going to have equal skills, even the ones who started lower? How does it?
Well,
what's your
I would never
observation?
expect everybody to be on the same level because that's just not what happens. What I do expect is progress. So I expect when they come and they're at a certain level, I expect them to show a lot of progress because it's such one-on-one work, and Saxon is such a great curriculum, and because we use different different games, different worksheets, different stations, math stations, them work the content, not just write it on their homework. So I don't expect all the students to be at the same level, but I do expect them to show great progress during the year. I don't know what that means for your student because I don't know where he is now, but
Yeah.
do try to get them to be successful going into the next year.
Yeah, because this is one thing. I'm part of one teacher groups. Like Bible study, and I have some public school teachers there. They do the same thing, which is like they want to see progress.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying anything. Just because this thought came to my mind.
Okay.
Then they come and like the examples. They come at 6th grade or 8th grade. They cannot write a paragraph. And she's like, okay, well, I'll make them. I want to see progress. And then the question is, well, when they go to 9th grade, they probably don't know even less, even though they showed progress. So
Gotcha.
they keep going like that, and then they go to college because I teach at Gather for Him, and I'm like, what were they doing, during the school? Anyway.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. I mean,
know.
we focus a lot on writing. It looks like writing is something that you're focused on, but for math, I think math is different because if you feel rushed, if you feel stressed out about math, then it's going to become something that you hate, and then you're never going to want to learn it. So I have some students that came in the first beginning of the year, like, oh, I hate math. I'm like, no, you don't hate math. You just don't know how to do it yet. You haven't had enough practice. So the mindset is what I try to change. And by making math something that you want to do and something that you're successful at. So math is a hard one, but math is also an easy one to show progress because once it clicks, then you can move at a faster pace. But you want to make sure that they learn that content before they move, before they go on. So there are certain levels of things that you should learn before you go on to a certain grade. And I try to make them reach that bar point. But I'm not going to push them so that they hate math just to get it to that bar. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
But with writing also,
yeah.
I heard you say about something about writing. Writing is really important to me. And we do a lot of writing in class and we do a lot of foundational basics because I see people that come into this classroom this year that didn't know how to write a paragraph. So we spent a lot of time on the basic format of writing, and now they're writing papers every month. So that's really important.
Because, and this is one thing I noticed, when I moved Joshua to, I think for me, God wanted me to move, for some reason, but he was not ready to write anything, and they're writing so much there, paragraphs and stories and stuff. So something is missing up, like, I don't know, maybe it's the classical grammar stage or something. I think maybe it's the grammar stage to blame, because it's not to blame. It's a different thing, maybe in middle school, they develop their, writing skills.
Yes, usually fifth, sixth on, they really start to really focus in on writing and how to write. Yes.
So that's what, because he did know how to write, and it was struggle at first, but now he got it. One more thing about math. Which books are they using in 4th grade right now? Do you know? Because
I think 4th grade is 6-5.
6-5. Because I'm going to if you're coming back, he's going to do those over the summer, so he catches up.
Okay.
6-5. Okay.
Yeah, 6-5. That's the green book.
It's the green book. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay, we can keep going. Sorry, I'm just
No problem. That's why I'm here. You don't have to apologize for asking questions, because that is why I'm here. I should ask answer any questions you have. What I was going down, I was with Hasbinder, homework, curriculum. I wanted to share with you a little bit of the curriculum. So we have this new science curriculum that I love because it's called Exploring Creation with Botany, because we're doing botany on 5th and 6th grade. That's what we explore is botany. Last year was geography and geology. Not geography, geology. And so this is what we're working on this year. And this takes science. It gives you a lesson. It has different activities that you explore the lesson hands-on. We dissected flowers because we're learning about flower anatomy. And it's kind of awesome, but it's really cool because this year, whatever curriculum we have, they have a workbook that goes with it. So that's the curriculum, and then this is the workbook that goes with it. In case we have to get sent home, you can have this work and not have to try to learn something by yourself. So the workbook goes with the grammar, the Shirley grammar, because Mrs. Everly is teaching the Shirley grammar this year in my class. And they also have a workbook to go home in case they go home, in case we get sent home again. So that's one of the things I kind of am very, very grateful for, that they have workbooks that we can say, you've learned this is what you can do at home. Spelling, are you familiar with the Wise Guide for Spelling?
I don't know what they were doing,
okay.
but
Well, this is what we do, and it looks like this. It looks like the 21 rules for grammar, and then we break it up. Every week we break up the words to coincide with the spelling rules that it goes with. And I had some spellers in the beginning of the year that were very low, and they have gone so far. This spelling really, I mean, I've seen it work firsthand so much. I don't know how much of a speller he is, but it is fun. It breaks it up. It's understandable. And it just doesn't make it so like, oh, I have to spell something. It makes it really, really fun to teach and also fun to learn. But you're actually learning it because you're like, well, how do I spell that? Well, there's a C there, and the rule for that is, so it's very kind of cool. So I don't know if you remember the Wise Guide for Spelling. That's what we still use.
Joshua actually he likes spelling. Or no, I think the level is a little lower at Bethlehem Lutheran, but I think you'll be okay. Yeah.
Okay, so what we always do a test in to see when they first come, a diagnostic test to see what level we need to start at, and then we just start there. They go and spell the list of words, and when it gets too hard, we stop, and that's where we start. Okay. So then we just go from there, just spelling lists. Okay. What else do I have? I have my sample schedule. I'm gonna hold it up, but you might not be able to see it, so I'm gonna.
See something like 8:30. Okay. I see it. Okay.
So that's my schedule for the day. We usually start out with prayer and memory work in the morning. In my class, have a chore chart that we change our students every week. So we just change our clip downs, and that way everybody has a chance at different jobs, including like vacuuming, prayer herald, lunch servant that cleans up at lunch. So we have a lot of different jobs, and we just change them up so everybody gets a chance to be a part of their classroom and take care of it, and to be able to practice speaking in front of people, because speaking in front of people is probably people's number one fear over dying, is speaking in front of people. So we do a lot of practice about speaking in front of people. We speak when we stand up to answer questions. They stand up to speak in front of their class, because the more you do it, the less frightening it becomes. And now my students are more comfortable. They can get up and do their speech to the class to practice. So we do a lot of speaking in front of our peers, because that's a real big thing, especially with this age. They get very self-conscious.
Yeah.
And so the more you practice, the better they become. So we do a lot of that. Do you have any questions? I've shown you my example hash sheet. My schedule. Do you have any? I've shown you curriculum. What we do for history is our classical conversations. This is what we're learning this year. Okay, so we read through history. History is probably one of my students' favorite subjects, because it is a very good book, very interesting, very engaging, draws you in. So they really, really enjoy history. But that's all that I have for curriculum. For literature, we are doing the Chronicles of Narnia this year. So we just finished The Horse's Boy. We're going to Prince Caspian, and we like to explore the characters, themes. We write a lot. We write character journals. We write every day so they get more comfortable, because sometimes at the end of the year they're like, my hand hurts. Miss Clyde, my hand hurts. I'm writing too much. Like, keep going, take a break, shake it out. But now we rewrite so much now, it's not a big deal at all. So, any questions?
I have to let Karen say something, because I have a lot of questions. So let's see if she has questions.
Karen, do you have any questions for me?
Well, I was going to make a comment to you, and because I know I know it ongoing in science, so it's a part of it. From working in the library, there is a whole set of encyclopedias, beginning encyclopedias on science projects, or science. Answering questions is basically how it's presented. but they aren't on the shelf yet. And that is one thing I've been trying to help Mrs. Everly by pre-reading some of the things so she knows that she wants to put them on the shelf. So I would hope that we get those on the shelves by next year. So I just want to say that to you as being another resource. If somebody wants to read, it's done in topics. So, you know, if you're looking at the weather, if you're looking, you know, maybe at insects or flowers or whatever, there might be a book there that would be an additional resource for the kids. So
Okay.
I'm kind of excited about them. They look engaging. They may be a little, maybe a little bit young
Oh, okay.
for fifth and sixth. But on the other hand, sometimes it's just fun to go back to something easy, something fun to look at. So just
You
to
don't have to think so hard about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. Do you have any
Okay,
other
so now-
questions?
Oh,
Is that
just-
all that you have questions about? Karen?
Not me. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay.
Diana,
First
go
one
ahead.
is- okay, I have a question. Okay, so now first question. Is it going to be do you know it's going to be a mixed class, yes or not? You know, the 5th grade.
So we don't know for sure, but they are leaning towards, because we're getting bigger, they're leaning
Mhm.
towards splitting up the classes into just
Mhm.
one grade. So they've been the go ahead to hire new teachers so that
Mhm.
we can split our classes into one grade. So only 5th grade, only 6th grade, not
Yeah.
5th together. Yeah, they're leaning
So-
towards that, and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen, especially with all the interest we're getting.
Yeah, but so you'll be the 5th grade teacher.
I will be
You-
whatever they
Uh-huh.
tell me that I should be. 5th
Okay.
or 6th, I love all of it. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I would like it to be you, but I don't know. We see, whatever it is, because actually, I was looking on, the internet, and you like art, and Joshua likes art. I'm like, okay, great. Now can here's a teacher who likes art.
I bring art into a lot of my subjects
Yeah.
because I think it access a different part of your brain, and because it brings enjoyment into something they might not like. They might not
Mhm.
like as much, or might not interest in as much. And when you bring art
Mhm.
into it, then it's like, oh, I do like this. So I bring art into a lot of the subjects. Yeah.
Okay. I just interested when it's a mixed class, how do you split your time? Because I tried to do mixed class once, but it was horrible. And no, it didn't work well for me. How do you make it to work for you?
The only thing that I split my mixed classes up
Mhm.
is math. Everything else, I teach them together. I teach them history together. I teach them science together. We read literature together. We write together in writing.
Mhm.
Only thing we split up is math, because there's so many different levels of skill. And that is the only thing that actually split up for different grade levels. Everything else, I teach the same.
Oh, okay.
So really, it's like I'm bringing those 5th graders up to the 6th grade level, because it's just, I teach them the same.
Mhm.
The quizzes are the same. The comprehension level is the same. It's not, there's no difference. When I last year, I tried to differentiate, and it didn't make any difference, because since we learned it together, we all know the same thing. So it didn't make any sense to split up and make this a little bit less hard. They were like, no, we can do the harder one. No, we can do it. They always wanted to do something more. So the only thing I split up with my different grade levels is math.
No,
Yeah.
that's good. I mean, it kind of helps more the lower grade than the higher, because they rise to a higher level.
Yeah,
But
I have high expectations. So
it's
Yeah.
okay. I mean, I hope it's not a mixed class, because this is one thing I didn't like. So that was, I don't want a mixed class. But
yes.
if it is, I'm like, whatever anymore. Okay. So I have this question. I know you say you're a classical school, Coram Deo. I know the 3 stages, but I never really understood, for example, for your class, how do you teach, differently in a classical way versus, let's say, Bethlehem Lutheran, they're Christian school too, so they're both Christian schools. But how does in 5th grade the classical makes it different? Like, what do you do different versus what a normal school, which is not classical, would do in 5th grade?
Yeah, I think classical is you're teaching at different stages, and really rote memorization. That is something that other schools do not do, and it really helps. We memorize things, we put them to song, we chant, because that helps the children remember what we're learning. Other schools don't really do rote memorization. They don't really do putting information into song, putting information into chants, into something that you chant along. Classical, that is classical education, because that's what they used to do. They used to be able to put things to song. Recitations, like when you recite selections, they don't do that in other schools, and it's something we do here because it's part of being able to take what you learn and speak in front of other people. Speaking in front of other people is a big part of classical education, because everybody's afraid of it, and people grow up to be afraid of it. And when you're in a class and you're afraid to talk because someone's going to make fun of you, or you're afraid to talk and someone's going to giggle, or you make a mistake and someone's like, oh, you made this, it's really a big fear that we try not to have that be a fear, to speaking out loud and speaking in front of people, and to be polite. Like manners is something that's really part of classical education, trying to teach them how to speak to adults as the same way as speak to children, how to have respect, how what that looks like, what that sounds like. So classical education, what you're maybe not getting from other schools, is really those different stages that children learn the best in. And our stage here is 5th and 6th are really starting to look at that logic stage. Like, why? They're always like, why is this, Miss Kai? Why do you do this? We're on that cusp of they're wanting to question everything. And that's part of the stage for next year. But that 5th and 6th, we're still putting information in what we learn. We're learning about angiosperms in science, which is flowers and flowering trees. And we put that information, Mrs. Eberly put that information into a song, and they love it. And now I can ask them, what's this and this? And they're like, oh, I know what it is, because I learned a song about it. So that's a real big difference, what we do here, and especially rote memorization, especially for math, because that's how they learn their multiplication tables and then their facts and stuff like that. We practice every single day, because it makes math so much easier when you have your basics down.
Oh, yeah, it does. Although, one thing, it really bothered me, the song about the multiplication table, because, he had to sing it, and I was like, this is just a note, I'm not criticizing or anything, but he had to sing all the song to 8 to get to the number. But when I learned it, you learn it, there were no songs, you just memorize it, and it comes immediately. You don't have to sing the whole song.
So you are talking about the song they learn when they're littler, about the dun 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 dun.
I don't know, it was in 3rd grade, whatever they learned there.
So we focus more on rocket math. We focus more on their saying it. We play flashcard games. I hold it up, they automatically have to come back with it. So that's really important for me, because with my kids, I want them to know it. I don't want them to be like, what you're talking about is a song, is to try to make it fun when they're littler, and to try to see if they can recall the information, so that they can build on it as they get older. And the rocket math is what helps that too. That's rote memorization. They sit there and they say, 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3, 2 times 3 is 9. And they say it because it's muscle memory. The more they say it, the more they can be like later, well, what I need to know what 3 times 3 is. 3 times 3 is 9. So it's different ways of memorizing, but it's all memorizing. Memorizing is a big part of it. So yes, there are songs, but that is that stage of learning. You put something to a song, but then as you get older and in more grades and levels up and up, then you're focusing on rote memorization, so you can memorize it, so it's muscle memory and it comes to you right when you need it. That's what I'm focused on this year.
Oh, good. This is the goal, but even though I tried the rocket math, he would still sing it, and
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is the problem. And I know another kid who was at Coram Deo too. They had the same problem. And I'm like, this song, but it's okay. I guess it would work out. This is my.
Yes, I think it's good for the younger kids to learn to put information in song, because that lets you memorize it more. But they do need to have memorization. That's what the Oh, it looks like we have 10 minutes left.
Oh yes. So hurry. Okay. So I have. How about Monday? The Monday work. How does this work? Because this is another thing I left, because it was the Monday I work, so I don't know what is Joshua going to do, but I'll pray that God would figure out something. But how much work is on Monday?
So Monday work is just practice work. It's nothing new. It is What I send home for Monday work could be one spelling worksheet to practice your spelling words. It could be an open book history quiz. Look through your book, find your answers, you know, to get fresh with your, so you don't lose it over the weekend, so you can get fresh. Let's see, Monday work. This one says cursive packet, because so many people didn't know how to start writing cursive. I sent a cursive packet, read a chapter of literature, whatever math lesson you can finish at home if it's not new content. But no, it's not like it's no new content. It is to help practice what you have learned during the week. So it's practice reading, practice spelling, practice math, but it's nothing new. So it shouldn't involve someone having to teach them anything, because that's not what it's for. It's being able to spend time at home with your family, relax, not have Sunday be such a day of like, what are we doing tomorrow? Okay, tomorrow's school. Okay. So it's supposed to nice and make it more relaxed. So yes, Monday work is practice work. It is just you practicing the skills that you've already learned.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it would be great. I mean, I don't know yet, but it would be great if you make it like 3 or 4 hour work, you know, so it'd be a lot of work. Because
I don't ever think it reaches 3 or 4 hours.
No, it's okay. I can make it. I can just tell him this more homework, you know, because he needs to come with, I don't want him to just spend all the time, you know, he needs to come with me to work, maybe, I don't know, or playing video games.
Maybe, you know, another family that is coming to Coram Deo that you guys could work something out, maybe.
Yeah, we figured out. Yeah, but some of them, I know some, but they go to their grandparents. But we figure out, you know, God will provide something. Okay. That's my question. Another thing, do you use any, like, I forgot for the grades, you know, can they go and see their grade? Like, do you have an online environment for grading?
Yes.
Like GradeLink, or what do you use?
It's called Praxi.
And Praxi.
Yeah, Praxi. Parents can go on there anytime they want and see how their children are doing. They do. My parents do it all the time. They come and say, "Hey, I see that my student is missing this assignment." I'm like, "Yep, she didn't turn it in," or "Yep, she got that grade because it wasn't complete," or something. You can always go on Praxi and check out how your student's doing, and then you can always talk to me.
Okay, but you have like every week you enter grades there, right?
It depends. I enter grades every week, but maybe some teachers might not, because they have a different setup than me. Every Friday I put the grades in for the week. So I mean, you'd have to talk to different teachers, but me as a teacher in this class, I put all their student work, they turn it into a file folder when they're done with it, and at the end of the week I take it out and I grade it and I put it into Praxi.
Okay. Oh, one more question, last question. So if Joshua goes back to the fall, when does he needs to take the test? You know, like the initial test you're giving them? When?
Usually you go in and you take the diagnostic test when you go to your interview. But that would be a question for Mrs. Eberly, because she would know more about that. But I know that usually people come in, they have the interview, they give you the diagnostic test, so you know what starting level the child is at.
Okay, cool. Well, this is my question. It's awesome. I hope you'll be the 5th grade teacher. I'll pray about it. But
okay. Prayer is good. Prayer is good. We do a lot of praying in this classroom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, was that your last question?
Yes. Okay.
Question. I was gonna actually say something about the classroom management, like how discipline works, and because this year we've had a little bit of friendship drama, I guess, because in public school, their culture is different than our culture at this school. School, you know, God comes first. At this school, academics is really important, but your heart and your godly heart and what God means and you know, that's really important. So I've been really focusing on the children's heart this year, and their heart for Jesus and their heart for others. And so when it comes to discipline, I don't really have to discipline behavioral issues, because I'm very dominant and I like the children to be part of the classroom, but I'm the leader. But anytime I do have a student that I think needs more time that I can give them, then I give them a yellow slip. I think the time I've given them a yellow slip is because they've talked while I am talking. And as a teacher and as authority figure, I think it's really important for them to know how disrespectful it is to talk over somebody, especially your teacher. And so I think I've given the yellow slip, and they go down and talk to Mrs. Eberly. And it's so nice to be able to send the students to her, because she has the time and she has the resources to tell them, you know, why this behavior is wrong. And she'll back it up with the Bible. What does the Bible say about this behavior? And she'll pray with them. And it's just so nice. And it's such a comfort to have, to know that I can send my student to somebody that is going to explain to them. And it's not going to be like, you did this wrong. You know, she's going to say, well, this is wrong, and this is how we fix it, and this is why it's wrong. I just wanted to make that evident because I really love that part of discipline at this school.
Oh yeah, not the yellow slips, yeah, Joshua. No, actually, in the Bethlehem, they have a health form which is yellow, and I said, "Oh, here is your yellow slip." Said, "No, this is not yellow slip. You know, don't call it the yellow slip." Said, "Okay, well, it's a health form."
It's a health form. Well, okay, yeah. So yeah, funny. I just want to let you know that, which so grateful as a teacher.
Yeah, it is good. Oh, well, thank you. I think I will need to go to talk to the Latin teacher.
Yes,
I don't know how
kids love Latin, and it helps them so much if they want to learn a language later on, because it's the basis of all, like the romantic languages. The kids love it.
Why not? That's why
so scared. Yeah, my son was so scared to start Latin, but when he got here, he was like, "It's so fun."
Yeah, Miss Fink is fun. Yeah, I agree with this. It's the basics we need. That's why it's another reason I'm like, oh, they study Spanish, but I don't think they learn anything. I'm like, forget it. You know, so they learn Latin.
Latin is very nice. Okay, well,
cool. Thank you. Yeah, nice to meet you too. I'm leaving then.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Karen.
Very much.
Bye.
Karen, is there anything I can answer before you go?
I don't think I have any questions. Just
okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, then I'll let you go, and you just contact me or Miss Depley if you have any questions.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. All right. Bye.